What's up everybody, Jason here with Brilliant Fishing. In today's video I want to talk to you about something that I discovered recently that may be a benefit to you, and I want to give you a couple solutions for it. So one of the things that I was trying to do was get offshore numbers that are commonly out there available on websites on the internet, get those numbers into my chart plotter, and I realized it's not that easy, especially if you want to do a lot of them at one time. They come in different formats, they're all on different websites, and trying to get that data, get it all cleaned and massaged and into your SD card and then get that uploaded to your chart plotter can sometimes be a major headache. And so I want to give you a couple solutions here. The first one, I want to show you basically what I did and how this is going to work for you using ChatGPT. So the first thing that I did is I went on over to the good old Google and I looked up offshore numbers. Let me show you where I started. I'll show you how I got there. All right, so the first thing that I did was I just put in here, I put in numbers for the hot hole off of Yopon Beach. Now, that was just a starting point, and you can see, of course, the internet is full of information on that. Now, a website that I found particularly useful was this one, and this is chasingtailsoutdoors.com /GPS-numbers, and this is a gold mine if you're looking to get GPS numbers in your chart plotter. And the only thing is, it's not really in a downloadable format. You see that this information is just in a website format. You can export it as a PDF, but that's not particularly helpful for what we're wanting to do here. So let me show you what I did. So basically, I went over to ChatGPT, and this is what I told it. I said, clean and format this data, which I'm going to copy and paste, containing GPS coordinates for offshore structure. And I told it to put it into a spreadsheet format. I want it to make columns for I guess that was a typo, structure's name, latitude, longitude. Please ignore the structure type. It says wreck, rock, hole, or ledge. And then the depth category, if the line includes it, which is a 2-3 digit number between the structure type and the coordinates. And then I told it I'll copy and paste this data in the next box. So if I go back here, so basically what I did was I copied and pasted all this data, and I went all the way down to the bottom of the page. Now, what I'm copying here is the name of the structure, the type of the structure, the depth, the latitude and longitude. So what I did was I copy and pasted all that. I went over and I dumped it into ChatGPT. So dumped it in, and this is what it gave me. Okay, so it gave me this, and so it did what I told it to. Put all this data in, and then what I did was, and it's literally hundreds of numbers here. Okay, so what I did was put that all in, and then what I asked ChatGPT to do was to give me a clean spreadsheet. Ready table, name, latitude, longitude. I don't want all the other stuff. I just want the name and the numbers. And so they kept the coordinates exactly as provided with no conversions, assuming that's what I want for now. Okay, so that's good. Now, what I run into, and what you're going to run into if you go copying numbers from different places, that you'll see they come in different formats. And so this type of number here, these are not decimal degrees. And so what I had to have ChatGPT do was, and it asked me here, did I want to do option A to store the numbers as raw numbers, or did it want me to interpret these, or excuse me, did it want me to interpret them as raw numbers or degrees with decimal minutes? And so it told me that my data, which I pulled over from Chasing Tails Outdoors, strongly appears to be in the blah, blah, blah format, which is option B. Okay, so I did that. I said, all right, so I want it to interpret my data as option B. And so I said, interpret these according to option B, and then convert them to decimal degrees, because that's what my chart plotter is going to need. So I told it to do that. It took it about 1.5 minutes, and it says, here you go. Everything is cleaned, coordinates interpreted as option B, decimal degrees, and it changes makes my longitude set negative for degrees west, and it gave me this copy and pastable stuff. Now this is still not what I want, but I'm getting closer. So I go down here, and then what I told ChatGPT following this was, I said package this into a GPX and also a KMZ, which is a Google Earth optimized file, so you can pull these up on Google Earth. as well as I want a downloadable spreadsheet, a CSV spreadsheet. So that's what it did. It took me some time. I had to really figure out what it wanted me to give it as far as directions. But now I have CSV decimal degrees. I've got my GPX file, which I can dump into my chart plotter. And then I've got my Google Earth file if I want to do that. So the short answer is that's what I need. That's what you need to do. So I got my files. What I can do now is I can take my GPX file, I can store that on my SD card, or microSD as the case may be, and I can go out and I can plug that in my chart plotter. Now there's other videos that kind of show you how to do that. I'm not going to repeat all of that here. I would simply say that you want to make sure you save your data in your chart plotter before you start dumping in these other numbers, but you probably already know that. All right, so let me give you a solid option B. So it took me a while to figure this out, but once I did figure out how to successfully take those online numbers and convert those into a usable format, I spent some time and I went and I harvested offshore structure and some inshore structure numbers for Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina, and I ended up with literally thousands of waypoints, all publicly available numbers. None of these are secret spots. We're not blowing up anybody's secret spot here, but publicly available numbers that are available through the website that I showed you and many, many others. And I took that data and I condensed it down much in the same way as you saw me do earlier. But I've got that into 3 formats. So I've collected literally thousands of waypoints, over 2,000 if you count all of the ones up and down Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. Most of them are North Carolina. Thousands of waypoints. And I've exported them as a spreadsheet, so that you can actually pull them up in Excel if you want to do that, or Google Sheets. You can look through it, look at the names. You can do whatever you want with that for your own benefit. Also, exported in a KMZ format. Now, you say, well, what is that for? Well, KMZ is really cool because you can take that file and you can pull that over into Google Earth, and you can actually upload those coordinates into Google Earth and make a Google map out of your points. And so that's pretty cool if you want to preview it, you want to see it on a computer. So that's useful. But the most important for most of us, and the reason that most of us are doing this, is because we want to put it in our chart plotter. And that's where the GPX file is going to be useful for us. Now, so I've taken these coordinates, I've put them all into our Brilliant Fishing Offshore Waypoint GPX file. Over 2,000 waypoints, all this inshore, offshore structure, ARs, wrecks, reefs, rocks, ledges, you name it. There's so many, all kinds of stuff. And so it's in a GPX file, and I put it on a micro SD card. Now, if you would like, I can mail you one of these cards, and you can just dump it in your chart plotter. It is really that simple. So if it's something that would interest you, hit me up. My email is down below. It's brilliantfishingnc@gmail.com. I can send you one of these and drop it in the mail. You get all 3 files. You get the SD card and $100. And you save you all the work of doing all of that. So again, hopefully this video is something that will be helpful for you. But either if you just want to go out, you just want to grab a few numbers, and you want to use ChatGPT to help you get that into your chart plotter, maybe this video is helpful there. If it's something that you just like, hey, dude, just do the work for me, I would be glad to mail you one of these and get you started. Now, I'm not going to go through in this video all the directions on how to upload those into your chart plotter. I think most of you probably know how to do that already. If not, there are tons of videos out there. But I would say very carefully, save your existing waypoints before you go uploading anything new in there. So save them, back them up. Always a wise idea. Back up your stuff before you try to introduce any new ones. But anyway, at any rate, if I can help you out, again, my contact information is down below. It's brilliantfishingnc@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know you'd want one of these, and I can ship it out to you next day. Take Venmo, PayPal, all the good stuff. So just hit me up. Help me feed my fishing addiction. All right, well, we appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next one.